Imagine this for a moment. You're walking down the street, lost in your own thoughts, and suddenly you lock eyes with a stranger. You don't know their name, their story, where they came from, but in that instant, something inside you shifts. Your breath becomes shallow. Your brain starts making up stories. You might even start imagining what their voice sounds like, or whether they'd like the same kind of music you do. It's as if a tiny spark from the universe just landed on your chest, and you wonder, what was that? Why does love feel so natural and so mysterious at the same time? Why are we magnetically drawn to some people and not to others? And more importantly, is love an accident of the heart or a carefully orchestrated symphony of psychological forces? Welcome to MindShift, where we explore the depth of human behavior, emotion, and the fascinating quirks of the mind. Today, we're diving into the hidden psychology of love and attraction, what really pulls us together, and why you might be drawn to someone before you even say a word. Most of us think love starts with chemistry, two souls connecting on a cosmic level. But as romantic as that sounds, love is actually much more scientific. In fact, your brain decides whether you're attracted to someone in just 0.2 seconds. That's faster than it takes for you to consciously realize what you're feeling. And here's the weirdest part. Sometimes your brain knows you're attracted to someone before you even do. Let's start with the one thing we don't like to admit. Love is deeply visual. Yes, personality matters. Yes, kindness matters. But before your conscious mind kicks in, your brain is already scanning someone's symmetry, expressions, posture, even how they walk. It's not shallow, it's survival. The human brain evolved to look for signs of health, stability, and emotional safety. So what might feel like butterflies is often just your nervous system saying, this person seems like a good match genetically. But here's something fascinating. Attraction isn't the same for everyone. Some people are more drawn to confidence or a sense of humor or someone who mirrors their emotional behavior. Why? Because part of what we're looking for isn't just beauty or charm, but familiarity. Think about this for a second. You might notice you're attracted to people who somehow feel comfortable from the start, even if you've just met them. That's your brain recognizing patterns, your caregiver's tone of voice, your childhood environment, even the rhythm of communication you grew up with. Psychologists call this imprinting, and to some degree, we all do it. We aren't just falling for someone, we're falling for a feeling, one that reminds our subconscious of what love has felt like before, whether that was calm, chaotic, or something in between. Here's a curious fact. In 2017, researchers did an experiment where people were asked to stare into each other's eyes for 4 minutes straight, without speaking. Many of them reported feeling strangely connected, even falling in love with complete strangers, not because of what they said, but because of what they shared in silence. That's how powerful emotional recognition is. We're constantly reading micro-expressions, tiny, unspoken signals in someone's face, body, and voice, signals that give us clues about who they are and whether they're safe to love. Speaking of love signals, let's talk about something your body does automatically: mirroring. You lean in, they lean in. You smile, they smile. You touch your face, they do it too. Humans mirror each other physically and emotionally when they're attracted. It's like your body is whispering, "I'm aligned with you." And guess what? It's not just psychological, it's chemical. When you're attracted to someone, your body releases a cocktail of chemicals: dopamine, norepinephrine, oxytocin. Dopamine makes you feel euphoric. Oxytocin builds trust. Norepinephrine makes your heart race. So that rush you feel when you're around someone you're into, that's not poetry. That's brain chemistry on hyperdrive. It turns out, love actually is like a drug. In fact, in a study comparing brain scans of people in love to those addicted to cocaine, scientists found surprisingly similar patterns. Love hijacks the reward system in the brain. That's why heartbreak feels like withdrawal. That's why letting go of love and letting go of the person can feel like quitting something deeply addictive. But it's not all about chemicals and childhood patterns. There's another fascinating mechanism we use: the halo effect. When we find someone physically attractive, our brain tends to just assume they have other great traits, like intelligence, kindness, or humor, even if we know nothing about them. That's the halo effect in action. It's not a flaw, it's how humans are wired to make quick judgments about people we could potentially bond with. Here's a funny historical tidbit. In the 1800s, a German phrenologist named Franz Joseph Gall insisted he could read people's personalities by feeling the shape of their skulls. He believed that love bumps existed on certain parts of the head, like little antennas of attraction. While that sounds hilarious now, back then, people actually used this science to evaluate romantic potential. Of course, later studies proved phrenology was total nonsense, but it showed just how far people will go to understand love and compatibility. And speaking of studies, one of the most fascinating findings in the world of attraction was the sweaty t-shirt experiment. Psychologist Klaus Wedekind had women smell t-shirts worn by different men and choose which scent they found most attractive. The results? Women were unconsciously attracted to the scent of men whose immune system genes were different from their own. The more distinct the immune systems, the more likely their children would inherit a strong resistance to disease. So, yes, your nose really can sniff out compatible DNA. Your attraction might literally be based on how someone smells while they sleep. But here's the twist. While all this science helps explain how love happens, it doesn't fully explain why some people make us feel alive and others don't. There's something more, something elusive, something like resonance. Resonance is when two hearts don't just beat near each other, but with each other. It's when someone's way of speaking, thinking, feeling just clicks. It's when you're not thinking about what to say next because the conversation flows effortlessly. It's in the laughter that feels natural, the silence that feels safe, the eye contact that doesn't feel like staring, but letting someone in. And the best part? You can't force it. You can't logic your way into resonance. You feel it. And that's why love, despite all the science behind it, still feels like magic. But love isn't blind, it's biased. Our past experiences shape who we're drawn to. Sometimes that's beautiful. Other times it can be painful. We might chase after what feels familiar, even if it's not healthy, because our minds confuse comfort with love. That's why some people keep falling for the same type of person over and over again. Not because they haven't learned, but because their inner template for love is still incomplete. To truly understand love, we have to explore ourselves. We have to ask, what does love feel like in our body? What do we crave? What makes us feel seen? Not what Disney taught us, not what society rewards, but what truly nourishes us. Because love isn't just about attraction, chemistry, or matching immune systems. Love is what happens when you meet someone who is not only beautiful, but safe to be vulnerable with. When the attraction is there, but so is the acceptance. When the spark is real, but so is the serenity. At the end of the day, love isn't just something that happens to us. It's something that happens through us, through our choices, our history, our hopes, through the dance of biology and emotion, through the simple, beautiful way we see each other, not just with our eyes, but with our soul. So the next time you feel that spark, pause for a moment. Ask yourself not just, do I want them? But, who am I in their presence? Because true love isn't just about finding the right person, it's also about becoming the version of yourself that can love and be loved with openness, intention, and joy. Thanks for watching MindShift.